Phil Sewing Studio. I'm Vivian Walker. Today we're going to look at how to make this style with an inset. We call this an inset, where you have two colors used, white and red, on the front of the garment. Okay? I'm just doing it to the waist. Now you would have cut the back, which is this. And as usual, we will use the back to cut the front. Now whenever you're doing any of these styles where you're putting in pieces, it's best to measure on your body where do you want the effect. Am I going to take it down between my breasts like this and come back up? Am I going to take it higher up? So you measure on your body to the lowest point you want and how wide across your shoulder scope you need it. And then you will pin the shape out, okay? So this is the back, this is the style we're doing. So I'm going to pin the shape out onto the back. Remember now this is the back. So I measure where I want it to fit here and where I want it to fit there. And then I pin the shape out there. Alright? So you already learned that whenever you're putting two pieces of materials together, you must have seam allowance. So when we're cutting the white piece, the seam allowance has to be added here. Now I'm using dotted lines just to give you the idea. So you would now put the back on the fabric for the front, put the back on the fabric for the front, and you're going to put the extra allowance there. So we're going to cut like this. So this part now is going to be white. Alright? So instead of cutting here, we cut with the allowance onto it. That's the white. Now, you use the same back to cut the red. The same back. And this time you will pin below that line. So you will be cutting now like that to get the red. Alright? So you must have seam allowance. So this line is your fitting line. And this line is the seam allowance. And that's the seam allowance for the red piece. For the red. Okay, and this line on the top, which is this line, is the seam allowance for the white. Alright? So we use the back to give us both pieces. So over here, I've drawn two more diagrams. So what I've done here is show you what it would look like when you cut it out. Alright, so I'm going to take out this part of it. Can you notice you have to cut out your shoulder and everything? So when you take out this part of it, that's how the white would look. That's the white piece. You know, have the seam allowance and everything on it. And if you take out this part now, of this one, see, that would be your red. What this is showing you is that whenever you're varying the style and you're cutting pieces, this could be like a square shape, this could be a V shape, any shape you want, and you're inserting pieces. You use the same back, cut your back out first, and you measure on your body and pin the guide pins. That's your fitting line. It's supposed to be fitting line, right? That's your fitting line. So you pin that first. So there are guide pins. Your center pins or your guide pins. Right, so those pins remain in place. So you have your guide pins, and then you take the back and put it onto the front. Put the back piece onto the front. Push the pins through so you can see them. And then you cut above the pins 1.5 for the white. And you cut below the pins 1.5 for the red. You just have to remember that wherever you are joining two pieces of materials together, you must have your seam allowance. So once you remember that, then you shouldn't have a problem, okay? Happy sewing, I'm Villa Walker. Remember to visit me on my YouTube page at Ville Sewing Studio or at Manuel Baptist Skill Center, or you can phone me at 876-787-7241. Manuel Baptist Skill Center is at 1 Baptist Road, Mandeville, Jamaica. Happy sewing.